Hi, this is Rachel at Tarot Dreams, and I believe that there are signs and synchronicities in our daily lives that are meant to provide us with a deeper understanding on our spiritual path and guide us in this experience. I'd like to share some of my insights and messages that I've received through intuition, dreams, foresight, and various channeled energies. Thank you so much for visiting my platform, and just know that I appreciate you all. And let's go ahead and let's dive into this week's messages. Thank you. I want to begin this week and talk a little bit for just a moment about Persephone. What happened this week is I have been going through some emotional things, as you know, with my Gracie passing and the hawks coming after my birds. I actually tried to talk to one of the hawks and they just weren't having it. But this morning when I was in meditation, I had seen a fawn. And with seeing the fawn, the first thing I thought of, is beauty and innocence. But then I started to feel Persephone. And then as I later, went about my business of the day, I seen the hawk. Now, normally I see the hawk representing to me Persephone in the fall and in the spring. And Persephone was letting me know once again about the cycles of life and why the hawk wasn't listening to me. And basically the hawk is free, and the animal world is not like the human world, and they are free no matter what. They have no boundaries. And basically she was letting me know that nature can be beautiful and brutal. So nature at times is not for the faint of heart, and it's beautiful and brutal. It is life beginning, middle, and end, a constant transformation. And Persephone wanted to say that may your heart soar to amazing heights, but always be aware that things are constantly evolving and changing. Nature in itself is an evolving transformation. Embrace the present. Be still in the moment, but you must always push forward. Do not fall into the darkness, but push forward. So she kept showing me the hawk soaring. So I wanted to pass on that message before I started relaying what I have seen this week. And I thank you for taking the time and, sharing these experiences with me. Now, I was getting this week a lot on, I don't know if I brought it up last week or not. When I get some images, normally it's either with books I've read or movies I've seen or just things that I have experienced in this lifetime to help me break down the symbols. And as I've stated before, I don't always get it right, but I try. So this week I was getting some really weird things, and I don't know if it was, I know it wasn't last week, it might have been the week before, when I was getting the messages of residue and the word kinetic. Well, I had seen one of the, SS men, Secret Service men, spokesperson, I believe, I don't remember his name, getting up there, and he had, when you're a person like I am, you tend to hang up on words and key phrases, things of that nature, and something he had said did not leave me. He had started explaining things, and he had said that this would be a kinetic event that would begin an organic, or he said an organic kinetic event that would start. Basically what he was saying, he used the word kinetic, and then he used the word that it would start an organic event that would spiral out of control, is basically what he was getting at. But I took it as that he was relaying a message that there was something already in progress, and then shortly thereafter the event took place at the golf range. I'm not sure if those were connected or not, but I really got the sense that it could be. So I was getting things along that nature, and then I started. Now, remember, these are images that I know in my lifetime, and I only had one daughter, and the rest were boys. So I had a lot to do with, all different types of like Teen Titans and, Pikachu, Pokemons, and stuff like that. Well, I started seeing Pikachu, and I really wasn't sure because I have never played, all right? And I really wasn't sure what Pikachu meant. So I had to go back and start researching. And I found it strange because Pikachu's, I guess, power is static electricity, and it can paralyze and when attacked on direct contact. And it's like a thunder shock or a wild charge or something like that. And I had started getting, the reason why I brought up Teen Titans is I started getting the phrase like Titan 5. And I really couldn't find anything on that other than I was thinking about Teen Titans. And I think there was something from like Galaxy Federation. I'm not real sure. But I started picking up the number 5. And then I started picking up like an EMP, and then 5. And then I started picking up 5. So I've been picking up 5 a lot. And I've been picking up, I keep replaying what that, about the kinetic energy, the kinetic event in an organic sense already in motion. But I don't think it's going to be organic. I'm not sure if the golf course was it or if there was something else. And then I went outside. I don't believe it was that day. I believe it might have been the next day. And all of a sudden, it was as if, and I thought of Tesla because Tesla always dealt with and talked about the color purple. Well, I had seen what was the color purple, but it was almost as if there was an overlay pressed over it, like the sun, the spiral, everything was purple. And then it was, and I say the sun because that's what I was looking up and not looking at the sun directly. But I was looking up, and then I started to notice that everything was turning purple and it was spiral. And then there was like this overlay of little black squares that was put over it. And it was too symmetrical. It was not organic. I say that because it reminded me of an overlay or something being placed over top of it. It did not happen naturally. It would have been out of sync, things of that nature. It wasn't. So I, once again, didn't understand that. So I started looking up things like reflectors because I got the sense that there was reflectors or refractors or something like that. And I am not a science geek. So I'm not really sure. I didn't know if it had something to do with the asteroid Bennu. I don't know why I'm getting so much on asteroids lately, but I am. And I didn't know if it had to do with Astro Bennu and then Bennu, but I went ahead and I ruled that out because I know that they did take some of the materials, but it wasn't what I had seen. So I started looking up like reflections and refractors, and I started getting when you look up refractors, it provides a correct image, makes everything right side up, multi-purpose. They use it for like stargazing. That wasn't it. But then I found space mirrors. That felt more in line with what I was seeing. Space mirrors are used in geoengineering, and they can cool key areas, and they're also reflecting. They can use them to reflect sunlight onto solar farms. So I started seeing that, and I wasn't exactly sure that was what it was. I mean, I know that, I don't know, but like back in I don't know how it was for when you were in school, but when I was in school, they had one of the science classes. They had, I remember I carried it with me till this day, obviously, but that the sun would blow up, and that would be the Earth's demise, is that the sun would blow up. And I was always worried about the sun when I was younger, turning a different color, and it was to me it was something I carried. It literally shook me, but what they neglected to say, or if they said it, I did not retain it, but what they neglected to say is that the sun in itself would expand and just basically burn everything on the earth. So I think that's where they get the geo warming, and they want to do the geoengineering. Unfortunately, they did the geoseeding, and that has been harmful to humans. I'm not really sure how this geoengineering would go. If it was in the right hands, obviously, it could be beneficial. In the wrong hands, it would be not so beneficial, as they could cool locations down in the world and, block the sun and just basically kill off life, So there's pros and cons to a lot of things, but I wasn't really sure why I was seeing that. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm not really sure why I was seeing it, or even if that's what it was, but I keep picking up the electrical, like the EMP. I keep picking that up. I've been picking that up around water. I've been picking that up around, and it's like a 5. I don't know if it's a level 5, if it's the date 5, like October 5th, or, something to do with 5. And I'm not really sure. I don't know enough about certain things, like, if there's a certain level EMP 5, I don't know. I'm not really sure. So I'm going to leave that there. And then I started thinking about, you get into, I didn't say it because in my previous one, but I had been thinking about the golden circle prior to that event with the pagers. Except when I was seeing golden circle, I was seeing that the signals that they were sending, causing everybody to go crazy in the free cell phones. I'm still seeing the golden circle, but it's when the part that I keep seeing is the drugs, when that crazy woman was flying them into certain places and the drugs were actually poison. That's kind of the part that I'm seeing. So, I do know that there's an epidemic, obviously a drug epidemic, but the one that, makes people like zombie-ish and things of that nature. So I wasn't sure if that's why I was picking it up. So I'm going to leave that there. But I was also getting Lara Croft and the Tomb Raider, and I actually had to pull that movie out because Spirit kept showing me the symbols, and I really wasn't sure, so I had to pull the movie out. Yes, I own it. I had to pull the movie out, and I had to watch it, and it actually dealt with time and Illuminati, so I found that interesting. Yeah. So because the reason why I say I find that interesting is because I do believe that there is a thing about time, and they are trying to manipulate time. I know that they taunt us sometimes with, CERN and their project, the White Rabbit, and, which deals with time and, things of that nature. But I was definitely getting that, something about time. And I've always picked up certain things, as far as like timetables, time changes, time graphs, transformation. But, in your life, I've always said that you would repeat cycles every 9 years, with the major ones being 18 years. And if you, I'm not talking about your life path number, but if you look up the number of your year, you could basically chart things out is what I want to say. You can basically do a chart and figure out, what it's going to entail. What lessons are you going to feel particular, if it's going to deal with romance, health, business, decisions, what is the quote unquote theme going to be. Like a year 8 is what we're in now, and that's why there's so much chaotic energy going on, is because it is a year of balance, a year of reap what you sow, a year of karma. It's a link between beginning and infinity. It could be inner strength, assertiveness, boldness, justice, leadership. It encumbers a lot, and most years do. It just depends on what theme you are in vibration with. This year definitely is a year of justice, karma, and balance. You may not think it, but everything is being shook and everything is being exposed. And you're starting to see that that there was a false mirror in place where, it's literally been almost like copycat energy of, things that took place before, and now they are taking place again, except everything has been inverted, and now you're being shown this to right side it. So, I tend to do, when you chart out your years, you would look at it like if you were born in a year of 3, and I don't mean your life path. Doing your year is you would just literally pick what year you were born, just the year itself, and then break down what that year would be. If you were born in 1983, it would be, which is 1983 would be 10 and then 11. 11s I tend to find a little bit more powerful because you have to break them down again. So 83 would actually be 2, and because it breaks down to 11 and 2, and then the 19 would be 10. So it actually would be, which breaks down to a 1. So it would actually be a year of 3. So with a year of 3, you would look at the year of 3, which is harmony, wisdom, and understanding. And it's also a number of time. And that's what gets me, is I think everything right now, I just keep concentrating and focusing on time. It's like I'm seeing clocks. I'm seeing like the Illuminati, the time, the symbols of that. But it's also, if you were born in a year of 3, creativity, optimism, joy, mind, body, and spirit. It's ruled by Jupiter. It's good luck, so, but it's the 3, mind, body, and spirit. It's, bringing harmony and peace. So I've been getting that a lot. But right now, I have definitely been picking up things of transformation and things of repeat. So if you went back 9 years or 18 years ago, were you having a health event? If so, did you have a similar health event or a different health event 9 years later? You can tend to start charting things and seeing patterns. So I'm definitely getting that, and I know I'm rambling here. So let me get off of that. And let's just say that, with a lot of the things I've been picking up the graphs. I can't let go of the 5. I can't let go of the EMP. I can't let go of the Illuminati and the time. The golden circle with what they're saying, the zombie thing. I'm just really getting that. But the kinetic energy one is really bothering me. And that one, I just think there's going to be something to do with electric or electrical impulses. Could be around water. I'm not really sure, but 5. And I don't know if there's levels to them or not. Because to be honest with you, I got distracted by the either the space mirrors or refractors or reflectors. I don't know what the proper terminology is. But I'm picking up something with stars too, a star event, which I believe we've already had. I'm not really sure. Might be coming up. But in any event, I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. I didn't mean to ramble. I just started picking up a lot of things, and I was trying to, push it aside. We just definitely, I keep just getting, with the asteroids. I don't know why I'm picking up a lot with the asteroids either. But what I seen with the purple and the black squares, they definitely was not an organic event. It was definitely manufactured. So I want to make sure I say that it's either a geoengineering. I mean, we're really getting ready to, regardless of what happens in November, there's going to be a little bit of chaos because of the pushback, regardless of what situation happens. If the one situation happens, there's going to be a major cleanup. And it's going to be pushing forward, and you're going to find out that we're really going to get into a technology base. It's going to be more of pushing forward. We're going to become more multiverse. We're going to become more proactive, and not so divisive, and not selling everything off, and not really more in the negative. I really believe that it's going to be a little bit chaotic, but that it's going to turn around, and you're going to see different types of panels being assembled, world panels, but it's all going to be a lot of creativity, technology driven, and I'm actually looking forward to that timeline. I refuse to live in the other one, so this is the one that I am creating. But I do believe that it is moving forward, and that could be why I keep picking up things with asteroids and asteroid mining, because I believe that's the step where we are going towards. I do see solar flashes. I do see that, and maybe the purple was something to do with a solar flash, and that is why they get more into the space mirrors. I'm not really sure. That would be at a distance, but it might have been giving me a sign that we are going to be moving forward and not focusing on the war horse and things of that nature, because that definitely is not the timeline that I want to be on. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this here. I know it was a little bit disjointed, but I keep calling on the Persephone message, and basically, about nature, life. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. That you can be reassured. Once again, that's a 3, okay? So, beginning, middle, and end. But nature, yes, go out into nature, but don't be surprised. You still have to be aware of your surroundings. Nature is beautiful, but at the same time, it can be very brutal. And that analogy that they gave us with the sun, we have to become a multiverse. We have to become stewards, because eventually we will be leaving this planet, not in our lifetime, as far as, well, I don't know, maybe they will later on. Not in my lifetime, but maybe in your lifetime, they will have colonized, Mars, or reached out and figured out that, frequency and vibration is actually part of time travel. But at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and end this here, and I thank you so much. And now I'm picking up Isaac Asimov, underground cities, steel cages. We've got a lot of transformation going on, and there's definitely a lot of mirroring right now. Once again, space mirrors. So I'm going to go ahead and break this off and leave it. And I thank you so much for taking the time. And if you sat through this, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you already haven't. Thank you so very much. Thank you.